There comes a time in every life when one must choose between what is easy and what is right. Courage is not forged in silence or ease, but in the fire of decisions that threaten to cost us everything. To walk the harder road, to speak when silence is safer, to stand when bending is rewarded, requires the strength not of muscle, but of spirit. We are often tempted to retreat into the warmth of comfort, where the world asks nothing of us but our quiet consent. Yet comfort has never changed the world. It has never toppled injustice, never ended suffering, never mended a divided nation. Only courage has done that. It is courage that leads us into darkness with no guarantee of light. Courage that urges us to reach for the hand of another even when ours are shaking. True courage is not born of the absence of fear, but of the decision to act despite it. To choose courage over comfort is to understand that greatness is not measured by ease, but by endurance. The people who changed history, who broke chains, who tore down walls, who healed nations, were not those who sought comfort, but those who were willing to lose it for a cause greater than themselves. It is easy to speak of ideals from a place of safety. It is far harder to live them out under threat, under pressure, and under pain. Yet that is what real leadership demands. It calls us to stand when we are weary, to speak when we are hoarse, to believe when belief seems foolish. And when we do, when we resist the temptation of comfort and embrace the call of courage, we do not only change our own lives, we give others the strength to change theirs. We light the way forward not by being perfect, but by being brave. There are moments in history when individuals are called not to comfort, not to gain, but to give. The greater good is not built on words alone. It is forged through acts of sacrifice, through the quiet surrender of personal gain for the sake of justice, dignity, and humanity. The world does not change when we protect what is ours. It changes when we offer it up. To sacrifice is not to lose. It is to believe that what you are giving is not as valuable as what you are building. We must come to understand that real freedom is never handed down freely. It is earned through generations of labor, pain, and perseverance. The hands that lift nations must first be calloused by the weight of duty. Those who seek the applause of the world may gain popularity, but those who give of themselves in silence earn something far greater: respect, trust, and the right to lead. True sacrifice asks not only for our time or our energy. It demands our comfort, our security, sometimes even our dreams. And yet, those who have made the deepest sacrifices are often the ones who have left the most enduring legacies. They did not act because they knew they would win. They acted because they knew that to do nothing was to let injustice thrive. In a world often seduced by self-interest, choosing the greater good is an act of moral defiance. It is the recognition that our lives are not our own, that they are bound to the fate of our neighbors, our children, and those yet to be born. When we sacrifice for a vision larger than ourselves, we become part of something that endures beyond a single lifetime. And in that we find a freedom more profound than comfort, more lasting than any reward, the freedom of knowing we gave everything we could for a world that needed us. There is a kind of strength that does not roar, it does not announce itself in the moment of victory, or rise only when the crowd is cheery. It is the strength that endures in silence, that refuses to surrender in the face of defeat, that continues when every voice says it is time to stop. Persistence is the soul's refusal to give up on what the eyes can no longer see. Those who change the course of history are not those who never fall. They are those who rise again and again, battered by failure, betrayed by allies, exhausted by struggle, but still moving forward. There is a dignity in persistence that no temporary success can match. The path to justice is long and often lonely, and it offers no guarantees. But those who keep walking, even with blistered feet and broken hearts, are the ones who shape the world into something more just, more human, more whole. To persist against all odds is to live with a faith that transcends circumstance. It is to believe in the light, even while surrounded by darkness. There will be days when the mountain seems too steep, when the cause feels forgotten, when the burden is too great to carry. Yet, persistence is what teaches us that struggle is not the enemy of hope. It is its partner. It is in the trenches, not the towers, that character is born. It is in defeat, not in triumph, that integrity is tested. And it is through the slow, often painful march forward that real progress is made. Every step we take in the face of resistance teaches others to do the same. It tells the world that our resolve cannot be broken by force, that our spirit will not be silenced by hardship, and that our commitment to a better tomorrow is deeper than any fear we face today. Hope is not naive optimism. It is not the denial of pain or the illusion that change comes easily. Hope is a decision, a deliberate, defiant choice to believe in the possibility of something better, even when every sign says otherwise. It is a form of resistance that no weapon can destroy, no prison can contain, and no system of injustice can fully erase. Those who hold on to hope in times of despair are not dreamers detached from reality. They are warriors of the soul. When hope lives within us, it becomes a quiet rebellion against the forces that seek to silence, divide, and oppress. It tells the powerful that we have not given up. It tells the oppressed that they are not forgotten. It tells the future that we still believe in it. And in the darkest hours, when even our voices tremble and our hands shake, it is hope that carries us forward, not because the path is clear, but because we know the journey matters. To hope is to risk disappointment, but to live without it is to guarantee defeat. The true power of hope lies in its ability to endure, not just in moments of triumph, but in the long silent stretches where progress is invisible and change feels impossibly far away. In those moments, hope becomes an act of courage. It becomes a fire we keep alive when the winds howl around us. And like all fires, it spreads from one heart to another, from one generation to the next. It inspires action, fuels resistance, and breathes life into dreams that refuse to die. We must protect it fiercely, for it is often our last defense against despair. When we choose hope, not because we are certain, but because we refuse to surrender, we plant a flag in the ground of human dignity and say, "Here, still we stand." And that simple act may be the beginning of everything.